Yo people, welcome back to another YouTube video. You already know what time it is. It's time for the London Clubs Carnage podcast. That's right, it's all switched up. That's right, because my team can't create chances. So again, the creators on YouTube have to keep it moving and keep it original. Corey, Lee, I'm sat here like an L merchant with you guys. You picked up a W or two over the last few games, even 3 if you're Corey. So, I mean, Corey, start with you. How are you, bro?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Swimmingly, I'm feeling at the minute. Now, I went up there last night, obviously, as our first ever Europa League home game. And now, mate, the atmosphere, I was a bit disappointed it wasn't a full house, but atmosphere was good. Declan put in a top performance, and then we got the 90th minute against Leeds, mate. I can't complain. I really can't. It's a bit mad watching West Ham at the minute. We just keep picking up them W's, going unbeaten, and then hopefully we get 3 points on Sunday going into the internationals.
Well, and Lee, I mean, fresh off a North London derby win, so much so that
He's bottled it. Absolute bottle job. Yeah, bottled it. He didn't even turn up for the stream. Like, he turned up for his team for 40 minutes and then bounced.
The taxi.
Put it behind enemy lines, yeah? Behind enemy lines, yeah? You left your troops in the ground, my friend. You literally left them in the ground so you could go home. Like, I've never, ever left a football match, yeah? Early. I stayed till the end. The only game I have ever left was Man United when that... You know what? Played for West Ham last season.
United,
the top player,
moonwalked right in front of me. Alexis Sanchez scored that night, and then they put up 10 minutes stoppage time. I just went, see you later. Yeah, I ain't staying for the last 10 minutes stoppage time. It's the only time I've ever left a game early. Yeah, my man's bouncing before half time. Like, come on.
That's mad. Like,
it's disgusting behaviour, man. Nuts. Absolutely disgraceful.
You know what? Because I've seen Newcastle come back to level up with Arsenal 4-4. I've seen so many comebacks. Fair enough.
I've seen Spurs come from 2-0 down at the Emirates and beat us 3-2. So why is he leaving?
Like if it was it's 80 minutes, maybe you're just folding. You want to get home. Okay, the trains. All right, whatever. But 44 minutes.
You can't, mate. You can't do that in a derby as well. They need you.
One of my pals, he went all the way out to the Ajax game when Lucas Moura bagged the hat trick. He left that game at halftime and went back to the hotel. Yeah, and then when all of his mates come back, they were all jumping around. We did it. He was like, "You're on a wind up." So he got the bird in the hotel to put it on TV. Yeah, he was gutted, mate. Absolutely, and that is why you don't leave.
That's why you don't leave, because it's football.
Anything can happen, man. And the thing is, if they had scored that chance that Ramsdale saved, all of a sudden, 3 minutes of stoppage time to go, it's 3-2. Anything could have happened. So that's why you don't leave, man. And behind enemy lines, he's putting on his Insta. You bottle job. He couldn't even turn up for the show. And then he's got the audacity to try and give away a ticket for the game last night, and nobody wanted it. So he ended up going himself. That club is clapped, I'm telling you.
Oh, man. It doesn't get any better than that. I think he's trying to get rid of the Wolves one as well, so we'll see what happens there. But on to speaking of enemy lines, listen, you know, Arsenal and West Ham have been picking up W's. My team, 2 defeats out of the last 2. And as I always say, the expectations at the football club, at my club, the set of fans that we have is just ridiculous, because they're already, you know, analysing it and complaining about it and dissecting it and whatnot, and it's a madness. And people are coming out and saying, "Oh, I still believe in Tuchel." I was like, "You don't need to clarify that. He won the Champions League. Please calm down." But Lee, I'm going to try and squeeze out the positivity in you today, because what a performance that was against Tottenham. And I'm, you know, half and half Tottenham looking into Brighton. Surely you've got to be confident for Brighton. That's a great performance. 3 wins on the bounce, 9 points. You know, you've done the opposite against Tottenham. The, you know, Sakas and Smith Rose finally brought some end product to the table, clean sheet. You must be buzzing. Ramsdale, is he going to prove you wrong? All these things must be going through your head.
Or I'm sitting here thinking, we beat Norwich, they're going to get relegated. We beat Burnley, I hope they get relegated. Yeah, and we beat Tottenham every year. What's the street parties for? Why is everyone having a street party? The trifles are out, the buntings out, the party poppers. You know, Your Aunt Maggie's turned up. She's loving life. It's like the way our fans go on is ridiculous. It's like we've beaten a prime Barcelona. They're crap. They have always been crap. In my lifetime, they've won 5 trophies, and I'm 40 next year. Yeah, why are we jumping for joy every time we beat them? Oh, London's red. North London's red. Who cares? The Barcelona go on about Espanyol every season. No, they just go and clap them. Go like that and say, see you again next year for 3 points. Why do we keep making out they're a massive football club that are really tough to beat when we do it every year? Our biggest rival should be you lot. Yeah, it should be Chelsea. It should be. I was on a show with Terry yesterday, and there was a Liverpool fan on there. And I said to him, "Who's your rival? You don't look at Everton like that." He went, "No, Man United's the rival." Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Why do we make out Tottenham are bigger than they are? All season, our fans spend all year banging on about how irrelevant they are and how small and dead they are. Then we go and beat them, and they cheer like we've just won the Champions League by beating prime Barca. Clapped. They're clapped. Seriously, this fan base is so backwards. Like now, we're going into the Brighton game, and it's built up as Mal Pie. Like, we should be trying to Champions Leagues. Yeah, now we're trying to get revenge for Vieira. Turn it in, man. I can't stand this fan base. Like, genuinely.
But you see, is there anything positive that you've taken from the game in terms of like the projections of some of the young players? Because, you know, Gabriel looks really good.
It's free games for some of these people, man. Like, the way our fans are hyping up some of these players is hilarious. Like, Ramsdale's been brilliant. Yeah, don't get it twisted. Yeah, but he looks amazing compared to how crap Leno is. Yeah, and this is exactly the same as what Leno did when he came in for crap Petr Cech. Yeah, so this is where our fans are just reactionary. Like, they've been telling me for a year, oh, Leno's better than Martinez. He's well, stop moaning. He's gone, get over it. Now all of a sudden, Ramsdale's come along, they've totally forgotten Leno. Make your minds up. Yeah, make your minds up. I'm sick and tired of it, Matisse. Like, you know, our fans should be bowing down and kissing Malpai's feet. Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Because they don't like Guendouzi within this fan base. Well, that's the reason he's out, is because of Malpai, and he's gone to Marseille now. Balling out, called up for French squad, by the way. Yeah. Then we got a goalkeeper injured off of the back of Malpai, which then brought in a goalkeeper that was sat on the bench all season that was worth about 2 million quid, which helped us win the FA Cup, and then we sold for 16 million quid. Yeah, now, if you look at it for this season, it's now got Leno injured to the point Martinez come in. We sold Martinez. The new goalkeeper comes in. Leno doesn't want to compete with him, so he wants to leave. So now we're going to get money for him as well. Malpai should be a god within the Arsenal fans, mate. Like, but instead, oh no, revenge, oh, he's a prick. It's Brighton, mate. Who cares? Like, no disrespect, but who cares? We should be fighting for Champions Leagues, not fighting with Malpai at Brighton. Pathetic fan base, man.
You confident going into the game?
So no.
I think we'll beat him.
Do you think Arteta can get a result?
Yeah, I think we'll beat him 2-1, but it wouldn't surprise me if we lost. We've won our final, haven't we? We beat Tottenham. So, mate, I've seen it all before, Matisse. Genuinely, it's boring, man. Like, every season, the same crap. And that has kept that manager in a job now, by the way, for the whole season, because he's got a whole free pass now. Yeah, I'm not saying I want to lose to Tottenham, because I don't want to lose to Tottenham. Yeah, but for me, it ain't a rivalry. Yeah, it's not. They're just the mouthy neighbours. That's it.
I mean, Corey, what did you make of it? Because I look at that team and I think to myself, it was a good Arsenal lineup that he put out the last few games, and I think this is what I've been saying. When Arsenal are dangling around in 10th, 8th, I think their team is better than that. I remember having a discussion. I think it was on this show, or it was maybe on one of the shows about Southampton maybe being better, having a better squad. And there's just no way. Last season that came up in some discussions, Southampton, there's no way. Look at the young players Arsenal have. They've got talent. They've got some talent in there.
Yeah, no, look, I agree. I think when they're all firing, obviously it was a North London derby, and clearly the players were up for it more than I've seen Arsenal players before. I think it is important to have perspective, I guess. I mean, look, Arsenal were really on it, and Tottenham were really, really bad. I mean, they were shocking, and it just played into Arsenal's hands. And you've got brilliant players. You've got Emil Smith-Rowe, I rate highly, Saka as well, playing on the right-hand side. Tomiyasu's come in, looks a lot more secure than Bellerin, and I think that gives a lot going forward. So, and Aubameyang looks all right as well. So, in that being said, Arsenal have got a good team, and when they turn it on, they can produce results like that. But again, like if you're asking me, looking into it, I think Arteta's a little bit hit and miss. Yes, he's played Norwich, he's played Burnley against the poor Tottenham side as well. Let's see what he does against Brighton, because tactically, I know Brighton on paper aren't as strong as Arsenal, but tactically they've done well this season, and they caused West Ham problems last season. They can cause Arsenal problems this. So, again, the Arteta thing, man. I've heard Arsenal fans talking about, oh, we're now competing for top 4. I'm like, turn it in, mate. Turn it in. You know what I mean?
What?
You've got a squad. You've got a squad that could compete.
Everyone's saying top 4. Sorry, Corey, go on, mate.
That's all right, man. It's all right. I'm just saying. Your squad could compete for 5th and 6th if it's all firing, if it's ready to go, if all those players are fit, and if there's improvement in consistency. Yeah, but like it's just the Arteta thing, mate, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It could go to pot next week, so we'll see.
For me, it's like they have a squad to finish in the Europa League places. That should be the expectation from Arteta with that team, especially with the money that he's spent as well. Partey looked great last week as well.
Partey looks really good as well.
He looked back to his best. And you've got, Aubameyang scores. Let's see if he can keep that up. I'm not too sure. He goes on doing the Henry celebration there. I don't know what Lee made of that.
To be fair, I get it. I do get it. Henry was in the crowd. He obviously knew that as well. So it was funny because Thierry Henry on Monday Night Football said, yeah. It's a lot easier to do it when you're at home rather than running the full length of their pitch and doing it. I thought, that was a little dig. Do you know what I mean? But no, you're right. Tomiyasu's been brilliant, by the way. I think he's our player of the month. Like, he's been outstanding. But like, our fans are genuinely sitting there going on about top 4 now. It's like, mate, 3 weeks ago you wanted the manager sacked, you wanted the owner hanging. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, all of a sudden we've beaten 3 teams I expect to beat, and now you lot are getting hype again. It's the same every season with this fan base. They never learn. And then what will happen is, it'll get to Christmas, we'll be 20 points off top, but they'll be sitting there going, oh, well, we're only 7 points off 4th. Who cares? I want to win the league, mate. I don't want to come third loser. And it's like, this is the only sport where you get abused for wanting to win. Like, genuinely, football is the only sport where you get abused for wanting to win. Because if you want to win,
you can't win this season. So if you was to magically,
but we could have if we had employed a proper manager and gave him £230 million over the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, but in the current situation you are today,
everyone's realistic. But like, just to talk about West Ham and try and tangent it a little bit,
yeah.
Moyes will say, I want to go and win the Europa League. Does it mean we can? Again, it'd be very, very difficult. We want to go and win every competition we're in. It's just the mentality thing. I've seen it happen to West Ham where, in theory, we shouldn't really be competing where we're at, and yet the players are. So it comes from the club. It's just that expectation. And Lee, you've obviously grown up through an Arsenal era where you've won everything, and then to see this now, it's tough to adjust it. It comes from the top, mate.
And then when you've got the manager and the technical director not giving you a target and saying, our target's the X, Y, Z, and then you've got players like Ivan Toney at Brentford saying, my target's to win the title, mate. And it's like, that is an elite mentality, and we're supposed to be an elite football club, and we can't even tell the fans the target. Right? And then when I say the target should be win the title, if you don't, it don't mean nothing. Because it don't. Yeah, if you don't win the league, all these stats and XG and XA and all this rubbish and goals and assists, it's all irrelevant.
But if Arteta was to finish in the top 4, that would be a fantastic season. It's not going to happen, but that would be a great season.
But Matisse, this is where I'm different. Why would it be?
Because the brother is finishing 8th back to back. So
you've got in terms of league table,
you've got to walk before you can run. Man United fans will tell me if they don't win the Premier League or the Champions League, Ollie's got to go. If Ollie wins the FA Cup, that's a great achievement for Ollie, because that is his biggest ever achievement in football as a manager so far. So you have to walk before you can run. You have to. You can't expect the baby to come out the womb and just start climbing.
No, but Matisse, it's been 17 years, mate.
It doesn't make any sense.
17 years. 17 years we've won a league title, mate. Yeah? And like, the amount of money we've spent since Wenger's gone, let's have it right here, yeah? We sacked that manager, Wenger, because he weren't getting us in top 4. Yeah, we didn't get. I know,
but I'm talking about now. I'm living in today.
No, but then we get Unai Emery in, and Unai Emery comes in, gets to a Europa League final. Our fans cry because he didn't get us 4th.
Yeah, you've way regressed.
No, but I'm like, he didn't get top 4, and he sacrificed top 4 to actually win a trophy, mate. What part of this are you not getting in your heads in our fan base? He sacrificed third loser where you win nothing to go and win a trophy.
Yeah.
Yes, he didn't win the trophy, but at least he had a go at winning it. Yeah, and this is where our fans need to wake up and smell the coffee. Finishing third loser means nothing. You ain't going to sit there in 20 years and say to your grandkids, oh, I remember when we finished fourth in 2021. Who cares? But you will sit there and remember when you've won the cups. Yeah, and that is what a sport is all about. Elite level sport is about winning. Yeah, it's not about coming third or fourth. Yeah, and our fans and English football fans in general, they're content with fourth because it's been dressed up as a big thing. It ain't a big thing. You know, I'm sick of it, man. And that's why people get on my case, because I have got that elite mindset of I want to win the league. If you don't win it, you've lost. So there we go. Just me, mate.
Yeah.
Just negative and toxic.
It's fair, but it's just not going to happen anytime soon. So
yeah, because they don't do what's required to do it. They could have potted Arteta, gave Conte 150 million quid, and we'd be in a title race.
No, that's fair enough. I think the last time we spoke, Corey, as well, you lost to Man United, right? 2-1, and Noble.
Yeah.
Since then, you've knocked Man United out of the cup 1-0, and that was brilliant. Leeds 2-1 win away from home. Rapid Vienna 2-0 now. That's 3 wins on the trot since we last spoke to you on the show. I mean, bloody hell, round of applause.
That is good.
No, mate.
What's been going on?
Yeah, I mean, break it down with the United game in the Carabao Cup. Obviously, we made 10 changes for that. It really impressed me, actually. I think you've got players coming in that understand the system. What we've seen at West Ham previously is if we go and rotate, there's a huge drop-off. But these players, I think they just understand what's required of them, even if their level's not there. And I just thought against Man United, people will say I was 27 attempts on target. I didn't feel threatened once. I've got to be honest. Our centre-backs were superb, even though we've had issues with Dawson and Diop. And for us to have that kind of insurance to bring these players on, if required, in the Europa League or in the Prem and rotate, it's really encouraging for me. And the Leeds was the worst half of football I've seen West Ham play for a long time. It was so naive, it was mad. But I kind of expected Moyes he wants to be more progressive. He wants to be on the front foot. We still aren't good enough, in my opinion, playing out from presses or necessarily breaking down sides in different ways. But second half, you revert, you sit a little bit deeper, and in the counter, we're unbelievable. And that's obviously where Antonio gets his goal. And yeah, yesterday was another one. I don't think we played particularly well. It was one of them sort of off games. But honestly, this team turn up with a right bit of quality. Ben Rama at the end to go and get that 2-0. It's impressive, mate. Like, it is, genuinely. And I think credit to them, because even when we're not at our top level, either Moisey will make an adjustment or the team will just grind the result out and take the chance. Bowen should have scored yesterday as well. He had an absolute sitter. But no, it's going well. It's going well. We needed to win against Leeds, if I'm perfectly honest, because I do think we've had a couple of draws, Palace, Southampton. We do need that 3 points. And realistically, we do need 3 points on Sunday. And then I think we're sitting pretty. We're sitting comfortable.
Who do you play on Sunday?
Brentford at home.
Okay,
It's not easy, man. That's not easy either. Do you see what I mean? That'll be a tight, cagey game where we're going to have to break them down at times and then deal with their set pieces and them overloading the box. But listen, I back West Ham at the minute. It's such a weird thing to see us go into games almost expecting to win. It is.
But
and
it feels similar to last season's confidence, because yesterday you played a pivot of Mark Noble and Declan Rice. I wasn't expecting to see Declan Rice in the box with a tap-in. But that's a few goals he's got this season, and it seems to be something that he's bringing into his game. And Moyes, despite not splashing the cash over the summer, he seems to be bringing new elements into the team and keeping it fresh.
Amazing what happens when you get a proper manager in charge of it. They don't need a process or a project or a plan. They just have progress.
Well, that's the thing. It's interesting you say that, because when Moyes come in, I didn't want him at the club, and a lot of West Ham fans felt the same. And I'm kind of always on that sort of board of, let's see if they can answer the questions that I've got, and let's see where West Ham can go. I'm telling you now, Moyes has answered every single question, even this season. Can we break down a low block team? Can we play like this? Can we vary it up? And he's doing it. And Declan Rice is a huge part of that. Mate, honestly, when you watch him live, he's unbelievable. And the run that he's making for that goal, he's never made before. He doesn't make late runs into the box. So, again, people said,
the next Lampard,
yeah, not quite, mate. Let's hope he don't go to Chelsea. But in all seriousness, though, he's adding an element to his game that I think a lot of people wanted. And I think he's got the most progressive carries in the league for a centre midfielder this year. He's got the most forward passes for a centre midfielder this year. And everyone says he passes sideways. So There you go. Can't say more than that.
No, England was never a true reflection of what he's been doing all year for West Ham. Otherwise, he'd never have got the hype at West Ham that he's been getting. I don't know what Southgate. I think Southgate instructed him to do that and instructed him to play it safe and pass it sideways. I don't know why. I don't know why you would ask someone who can make progressive passes to then pass sideways and limit their passing ability. But listen, Gareth, you're at the wheel. You know what I mean? You do as you do.
There's serious questions are going to have to be answered soon, because if Declan keeps up the way that he's played in the final third for West Ham this season, and people watch England, they'll say, why is he, when you're playing a double pivot with Calvin Phillips, who usually plays on his own as a defensive midfielder, why are you not allowing Declan Rice to get forward?
It's the other way around,
yeah. It's mad to me. I don't understand why you use it. Calvin's very good at counter press. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel that play the players in the right positions where they thrive. Do you know what I mean? Play Calvin deeper and play Declan. Declan's more of a number 8 these days. He can play defensive midfielder, but the way he's breaking up play and carrying the ball, mate, is unreal. And he's only 22. So
yeah, I mean, Lee, what do you think of Declan Rice? Because the Chelsea fans are always split at loggerheads trying to argue about this player. It's nuts.
He ain't worth 80 million quid, that's for sure. But he is a very good player. And he's been superb this season. He's probably, excuse me, I don't know if he got nominated for Player of the Month, but if he didn't, he should be. Yeah. And every time I've watched him this season, I thought, actually, I kind of get it now. I do actually see what the hype is about. I'm not going to go over the top because everyone goes for a purple patch in football, didn't they? So just Lingard did it at West Ham and then went back to United and ain't been great.
Yeah.
Like passing people through to goal in stoppage time and that. But yeah, I think they're going to do well to hang on to him at the end of this season. Yeah, I think this season they've even said to him, look, stay one more season and we'll let you go, because I do think he will go. He'll either go United or he'll go to you lot.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is with him is that they put his asking price at such a ridiculous fee that even in this form, you can't. I don't know any holding midfielder on the planet I pay 80 million for. I just don't. I don't think they exist. But he is playing incredibly well for them right now. And I think I look at their results. I mean, that Man United thing was just brilliant. That was great karma. It had to be done. It's just been locked out. That was cool. And I see the comment you left for Toby. Oh, that brother, honestly. But the thing is with West Ham, I don't know, the gap between the top four and I was having this discussion with some mates the other day. The gap between the top four and everybody outside it, like your Leicester's, your West Ham, I still think is quite clear. So West Ham this season, do you really invest a lot into the league to play in really the same competition that you're in now? Or do you go, like you're saying before, is to try and win something? Because Leicester won the FA Cup last season. That's something they're never going to forget. That's another big moment in their history after winning the Premier League. West Ham should be looking, while they're in this 5th, 6th type position as a squad, they should be looking to win an FA Cup, maybe a Carabao Cup if this
or even the Europa. Like, listen, if they get a good draw, they could get all the way to the final.
Yeah. And then that's a route into the Champions League. They've got a
striker up front who could bag goals as well, and he's a handful. So yeah, man, why can't they win it?
Yeah, that really.
The only thing I'd say is, like, when the Champions League teams drop down, and there could be Barcelona dropping down. Although saying that, I'd put a tenner on West Ham to beat them at the minute.
Really? Yeah, bro. Barcelona. Honestly, I would bet on anybody to beat Barcelona. Benfica absolutely wiped the floor with them 3-0 in the Champions League.
Just goes to show how good Messi is, because he hasn't been in a title race last season.
Crazy. That's the dross that he was playing with. And a lot of people said, a lot of Barcelona, he should play for free. If he loves the club, he should stay and play for free. Because we're in financial crisis. Imagine playing for that team for money, let alone playing for free. There's just no way. Absolutely no way. They're absolute dog shit right now. So yeah, I probably would back West Ham to do the business over them. I mean, West Ham, they're doing the business. They're chucking along quietly. Only this time, I think this year, now that we've seen what they did last year, I don't think we'll have them, firmly fixed in our head. I don't think we'll let them go quietly. I mean, for you, if you used to have the best outcome possible and you're challenging for those Europa League places, if you used to maybe select out of West Ham and Leicester right now, who do you think would be around that position, 5th and 6th, after what you've seen so far?
Leicester look rubbish. I can't lie. They've had a really bad start. I think they lost last night as well, didn't they?
They did, yes, to Legia Warsaw, the Polish
Legia Warsaw, yeah.
As Warsaw,
yeah. The guy came out. I think it was the goal scorer. Came out in the t-shirt saying 1-0. Literally seconds after. Yeah, literally seconds after the game had finished. They must have just gone and printed it straight away. And he put the t-shirt on. He's out there doing his interview. I was like, I mean, that's a massive result for them.
Yeah,
but that just goes to show, like, some of these European teams, like, you can't underestimate them, man. Look at Sheriff the other day. They beat Real Madrid.
Oh, bro.
What a banger as well. That goal
that winner was incredible.
He's now got a statue in Macedonia town square in their capital or whatever. Do you know? Like, he is a hero in that country for the rest of his life, man. Like, mad.
And I love the fact that there was fans there to see it as well. That's what was so great about it. Like, it wasn't. But
this goes to show the levels that I was talking about earlier, because their fans had the white hankies out. They were booing and jeering Madrid off the pitch. Madrid have just set records over in Spain for a start of the season.
Yeah,
they're 34 goals in 6 games. Like, that's a record. So, like, this is the levels that we need to get to. Barcelona are about to sack Ronald Koeman. They won the equivalent of the FA Cup last season. Well, I thought it was a process. It took Klopp 4 years. Oh no, they actually want to win now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You got to use your brain. You got to see what's actually happening on the pitch.
Exactly, and this is the thing. Like, I think Tottenham, if they get their act together, Harold scored a hat-trick last night, didn't he? Performance off the bench against a team that weren't even founded the last time Spurs won a trophy.
Oh, bro. I did not recognise who the hell they were playing. And I was like, okay, all right.
Mate, I had to Google them. Yeah, real talk, I didn't know where they were from, never heard of them. And then I see today that club was not even founded when Tottenham last won a trophy. Yeah, and it's like, that sums up Tottenham Hotspur. And our fans are lauding it up like we've beaten prime Barcelona. Like, come on, they're playing a pub team and conceded to a pub team.
Do you know what as well? They've been poor all season in terms of performance. I know they have 9 points, but Toby's been screaming it, like, all the performances. Maybe the City game you can exclude because it was City, but the other 2 wins, you know, they weren't good performances. They were just grinding it out in terms of playing style, the way that they're approaching the game, Nuno, etc. So, yeah, I mean, I guess this was kind of coming for Tottenham, and I think a lot of people are shocked that Tottenham. I mean, they played 3 London derbies in a row and lost 3-0 in all of them. You know, that's not even just now. We're talking about playing style. We're talking about now actually playing for the badge and playing for the team. I know it's grit, determination, all these things that come up, these intangibles, but I don't know how you're getting slapped up in 3 London derbies in a row. I'm questioning a lot of things. But speaking of playing style, my team, if Corey ever makes it back, bloody hell, you're gonna have a feast, because 2 defeats in a row. The mood has completely flipped on his head, and it does not take much in my you know, club's fan base for us to be like, yo, what the hell's going on? What was this? What was that? What was this? What was that?
Tuchel out and all of that. I've seen that all over the timeline. I've seen
one person tweeted that, one troll that I've seen that tweeted that. I mean, the only thing I have to say with the whole last 2 games is just in-game management. You know, usually Tuchel was very proactive and very spot on with his changes. I think he's got his changes in the last 2 games wrong. The starting 11s in the Man City game, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I was fine with it, but at halftime, we could see we was being dominated. It was still 0-0. It wasn't working. We should have made a change at halftime to switch it up. But Juventus, you know, midweek, just gone. That was awful. You know, that was a poor performance, man. Especially against the Juventus team that were injury-stricken. They had no Morata, no Dybala. They played Chiesa up top, who scored an incredible, great finish from him. Left foot, near post, loads of backlift like Aguero. But I'm just so frustrated right now with my 10s. We've spoken about end product from your young players and how we're kind of similar in that mode. Saka, Smith Rowe, they obviously showed some end product last weekend. My young attacking midfielders plus Ziyech, they need to start showing some end product in that position, because they've got a striker who has scored 50% of his shots on target this season. 50%.
He ballooned one down the King's Road, though, in that game, to be fair.
Yes.
that is why. And I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, Havertz has not done enough for Chelsea. I know he scored the winning goal in the final and all of that. Yeah, but for me, he's nowhere near done enough for you lot. Mason Mount was injured, I think, wasn't he? He didn't play. Yeah. Then you've got Hudson-Odoi. You've got, you know, all these other players behind them. Ziyech, like you said, they don't do enough. Even Pulisic, when he's fit and playing, he don't do enough for me. Like, I've had said that on there before, but like.
How do you rate Ziyech? Because as a rival fan, I'd love to know.
He's just like I'm trying to think of a good comparison. I I can't think of one. Like, he don't really do a lot, does he?
No.
Like, he's got a cross on him, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he can whiz past 3 or 4 people, or do drag backs and take a man out of the game. It's literally cross, and that's it. So I think you'll bin him in the summer anyway. Yeah, I don't think he's good enough for Chelsea.
January. I'm thinking January if things don't change very quickly, because I'm very tired of this brother. And the thing is with Ziyech, he's in his prime as well. So
yeah. And the thing is as well, when you were in a game like that Juve game where you're not really creating a lot, when you do get that chance that Lukaku had, you have to bury it. Yeah. And all the top strikers would have buried that. Yeah, his quality, don't get it twisted, Lukaku, but to put him in the same bracket as like Lewandowski and like Ronaldo's and Benzema's, nah, all 3 of them would have scored that.
You wouldn't put him in that bracket? I would. 50. I'd still put him up there. And until the end of the season, maybe I would, depending on what happens.
If you look at Ronaldo's goal, I don't think Lukaku scores that. It's on his right. It would have been on his wrong foot, his right foot instead of his left. He ain't scoring that. Lewandowski, Benzema.
No, Lukaku does put it in with his right foot quite often. He scored a goal with his right foot, I think, this season. But yeah, he can't check back in. He's put some good finishes in with his right foot. He's quite accomplished with his right foot. Obviously, he is left-footed, but he is pretty calm and composed with his right foot in front of goal. I think he would have put that in. I do.
I don't know. I don't know. The one that he shanked over the bar, though. I mean, that's unforgivable, man. You got to score that.
Yeah, that was his one big miss. But strikers miss chances. Lewandowski misses chances. He was sitting up there in Europe for big chances missed as well. All strikers that finish, top of their divisions for scoring goals, they usually are quite high up there as well for big, missed chances. Their teams just create a lot of chances. The issue here now is that Lukaku is under a microscope with that finish because Chelsea didn't create anything else. That was his one big chance and he missed it and he fluffed it.
Yep.
And this is a striker that scored 50% of his shots on target, and he's been pretty clinical for the amount of chances that he's been getting. In that Zenit game, he scored, even though that was probably his only chance. In the Aston Villa, he scored 2 goals, and that was probably his only 2 chances. So he's taking all of the chances he's been given. But the problem with Chelsea is that as soon as they concede, they lose. As soon as Lukaku misses one chance, they don't score. And that is too, that is far too bang. That's too cutthroat. Of the end and the front end of the pitch, the 2 ends of the pitches. That's too cutthroat. There should be more goals coming into the team from other players. So okay, if we do concede 1 goal and we do concede first, and the defense haven't had a 10 out of 10 performance, we can still win. And if Lukaku doesn't take every single big chance, Kai will score. Ziyech will score from distance. Chelsea have nobody that shoots from range, nobody that dribbles against Juve, and nobody with an elite pass to unlock the door. So I'm not surprised we didn't score when you really think about it, because we didn't have any of those 3 characteristics. And if you look at Manchester City, Manchester United, who score goals, in different ways, shithousery or good style of play. They've got people that can take shots from distance. Bruno will take a shot from distance. Kevin De Bruyne will take a shot from distance. Pogba has the eye for a pass. Greenwood's a great finisher. You've got players like Mahrez that can dribble. It's like Grealish, we don't have that, and our guys, a lot of them are young, but they still need to fix up very quickly. Corey's coming in just in time. As soon as the Chelsea talk is here, he's returned. Corey, man, are you good there? What were you saying with the Chelsea performances recently? He's dead.
I did watch. Look, I'm not going to lie, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. But on a serious note, I mean, you struggled against City. From what I saw, you obviously tried to change it up a little bit. I know people were calling for that 3-5-2. Didn't work, couldn't play out from it. I didn't watch the Juve game.
Audio.
I just enjoy it. Just let you won your couple of little trophies, you won your Champions League. Get on with it on the other side. You're right. Don't worry. The problem is obviously chance creation, which I never thought that Chelsea have a problem with, and I don't know how much that's associated with this amount, but I'm sure you'll be able to tell me a little bit more.
Your audio has gone to pieces, bro. Your audio is not great. Let me I'll give you a second to try and see if we can fix it. Your audio is awful. But I mean, Mason Mount obviously wasn't available against Juventus. even when he does come into the team, yes, he's going to be able to bring a few characteristics, but he hasn't scored too many goals from long distance, although he does have the technique, hopefully, to do so in the future. You mentioned Pulisic as well. He's inconsistent as well. Yes, he's a dribbler, so he'll bring that into the team. He'll bring that characteristic that I mentioned. But again, it's not like as if he's the most consistent player in the world. We just miss players that are in their prime in those two positions that bring those elements to the game. We're talking about your prime Juan Matas, your prime Cesc Fabregas's, your prime Eden Hazards. That's what we lack right now. But going into the Southampton game, I'm going to be at the game. I'm looking forward to it. It's my first game in a few years now. I need to see a win. There's no way these brothers are going to spoil it. I've luckily got a free
If you don't win, let's assume you lost, for example.
Oh, don't.
Do you think the atmosphere in the ground would start getting a little bit like different?
Nah, I hope
because
not.
if you go off of social media, I've seen your fans, and I know you can't just judge off social media because a lot of them won't be at the game, and it's kind of different. But I've seen a lot of your fans cussing the manager. I've seen a lot of your fans saying he's not improved a single attacker at the club. I've seen a lot of your fans saying that this is not sustainable. We need to fix up real quick, otherwise we're not going to get top 4. Like, do you think if he loses a few more games, is his job under threat? Because we know that Roman's relentless at sacking managers.
Those are some very reactionary takes. Because for me, when I take a look at the manager, he has not brought in any of these attacking midfielders. He didn't buy Pulisic. Yes, he's worked with Pulisic, but that means he knows his weaknesses as much as his strengths. So he didn't bring in Pulisic. He didn't bring in Kai. He didn't bring in Werner. Let's not just assume because they're German now he would have brought them in. He didn't bring in these players. So yes, he might not be able to improve them. Okay, well then let him go and buy the attacking midfielders that he wants. He's improved everybody else. He's improved the defense. He's improved Kepa, for God's sake. He's improved the central midfielders. He's made the team win the Champions League with no recognised goal-scoring threat.
But don't you think that's like Di Matteo-esque?
No, because
could it go down that route?
No,
I'm not digging him out. I like Tuchel. I think he's proved me wrong because I didn't think he was a top-level manager. I didn't think he was in that elite bracket. I do actually think he is. Yeah, and that's credit to him for going out and doing what he's done. But I have seen a lot of your fans saying this is the same as when Di Matteo come in, just without all the legends in the squad.
That's foolishness from them. Absolute foolishness, because you only have to look. All you have to do is watch the games that we've played since Tuchel's been in charge. Watch the in-game management. Watch the changes that he's made. To be even putting him in the same sentence is just disrespectful. Because Di Matteo had prime Chelsea. Towards the end of Chelsea, but he had Terry, he had Lampard, he had Drogba, Juan Mata. He had a completely different team in terms of mentality, in terms of experience, in terms of them being in their prime, etc., etc. He wasn't a tactician. He wasn't, he played pretty negatively, low block defensively in that champion. And we hung on for dear life. We saved penalties from Robben and from Messi hitting the crossbar. We cleared our lines, from Ashley Cole, etc. And we kept it moving. It's the complete opposite to what Tuchel has done, outplaying teams in the Champions League run. So that type of reactionary bullcrap is why this is why this club can never have any real stability, because they cannot just wait things out. That is a top manager that we have. If we sack him, and it's crazy that I'm even putting that word out there, but if he was to ever go, that is
tough, isn't it, mate?
That is the equivalent.
Tough in the Champions League.
He'll get sacked before Arteta, because your club's ruthless, mate.
If we sack him, we'd be idiots, because that would be the equivalent of when we sacked Ancelotti, because that was the last time that we had a serious opportunity to build long-term success. If he can't bring the best out of his attackers in this formation with all of the opportunities that they have to create chances, then the attackers need to go. The attackers need to go. Tuchel needs to become the most important person at Chelsea. He makes the decisions, and you mold the squad in his image, not the other way around. I'm sick and tired of managers having to come in and adapt to players, adapt to this player, adapt to that player. These attackers, if they don't step up from now to January, Ziyech can get the hell out of here. If Tuchel goes before Ziyech, I'm going to start punching.
So was Robbie right then? Willian's better?
No, Willian is shit.
Look, Matisse, can I ask a question about it? Because I heard you say this the other day about your chance creation. See, the way I looked at Chelsea was you create a load of chances, you couldn't score them, you bring Lukaku in. Now, are we saying that all of a sudden, why is it on the players or is it on Tuchel with the fact that you can't create?
It's on the players. They still didn't create many high-quality chances last season. They created chances, but if you look at high-quality chances, Man City...
Oh, no, they were creating loads of high quality. Werner was spooning them off the crossbar from a
Yeah,
come on.
Statistically, we weren't high up for high-quality chances. I think we were around maybe lower mid-table for high-quality chances, but Werner was spooning the high-quality ones, I agree. But, you know, if you look at this season, we've got someone who can bag. We've got someone who can bag chances. If you throw in... I don't know. If you throw in who's an example of, you know, maybe Pogba, you throw him into that team, or you throw in someone of that type of dribbling, that type of, you know, passing ability, we're gonna create chances. I honestly don't think it's a system. I'm looking at the profile of the tens and the wing backs, and it is partly Tuchel's fault for picking them. He needs to make sure he starts picking other players because Ziyech and Havertz don't complement each other in attacking midfield, and those two wing backs, they're not dynamic enough going forward. And Azpilicueta and Alonso, playing them both together is almost suicidal in terms of general play, and in terms of, you know, if you're looking for someone to be 1v1 versus fullbacks and push up the pitch. You know, we've seen Trent and Robertson basically act as wing backs in that Liverpool team. So you can have, you know, attacking wing backs that are acting as wingers, but they need to be the right profile. And those two, Alonso is not quick enough to get around anybody. He's always going to turn back. You know, and Azpilicueta is not going to go 1v1 versus anyone either. He doesn't have any skill. So it's the profile of player. And he did want a wing back over the summer. We didn't get one in the end. You know, he was looking at Hakimi. Adama Traore was linked as well. Because we don't have anybody that at wing back outside Hudson-Odoi that can take players on and get past them.
It is a good point, though. Every time I've watched Chelsea play and every time you've turned the screw on teams, it's when your fullbacks are really high and there's a lot of space. And it gives those kind of middle three players the opportunity to get in the box and create from there. So, yeah, it's a good point, mate. You make, to be fair. I wouldn't have really sussed it out. But what's happening with your boy Mason, though?
Mason's injured. Wasn't fit.
Oh, swear.
Okay, fair enough. He hasn't started very well this season, even when he has played. It could be burnout. I don't know. Outside Declan Rice, I don't think any of those England players have really started very well since they.
Well, Calvin Phillips, Calvin and Deck is probably
maybe those two.
Grealish is warming up, isn't he? So
yeah, he's starting to warm up. Yeah. So I don't know if it's burnout. Mason's been playing a lot of football over the last 2 years. We shouldn't have to rely on him to start every single game to win. You know, we should be able to. And when he was, you know, he got hooked off against Tottenham at half time. So it's not even like when he did start that he was, you know, the last time he started, he was very good. He was quite poor in that game. So. He might be just mentally and physically taxed and needs a rest. I would put it down to that as well. So yeah, for me at this point, I'm lost for words with those 10s though. My patience is filling very, very quickly with them 10s. They need to fix up very quickly because January's coming again, a couple months, and we know that Chelsea are ruthless, not just with the manager, but they're also ruthless with the players. And I think when you spend as much money as we have on attackers in the last 2 windows, that is under the microscope right now. We spent it on Kai Havertz, Werner, Ziyech, plus Pulisic the summer before. They need to start performing because if they don't, then what have we been doing scouting wise? I have no idea. But listen, anything else you guys want to bring up before we wrap up here? Anything else?
Yeah, how comes Havertz don't get the abuse that Pepe gets?
Well, we don't want abuse for anyone.
Well, no, of course, but how comes they cost the same price?
What are you talking about on social media? What are you talking about?
They both come from farmers' leagues, according to fan bases, and Kai Havertz has done absolutely nothing bar scoring a Champions League final. And Pepe finished with most goal contributions last season. He's a flop.
I keep forgetting you're a Pepe stan.
Havertz is amazing.
I keep forgetting you're a Pepe stan. You looked pretty good the other day about Pepe.
Yeah, first time that Saka scored in 20 games for Arsenal. Yeah, but our fans reckon he's better than Pepe.
I'm not going to get into this without Toby.
Like Pepe actually has an output.
I've been doing a disservice. You know,
I have our fans.
Who are you going to bring in? Berg one.
We'll talk about
Where's Jared Bowen when you need him?
We'll talk about this over the international breaks. I feel like that's a whole different debate. We'll do Pulisic versus Pepe versus Bergwijn versus Bowen again. We'll do that.
Well, do Benrahma, mate. Do Benrahma if you want.
Benrahma.
Yeah,
Benrahma. Yeah.
Pepe scored more than all of them, mate. So just add all of their goals together, and Pepe is still outperforming them. So case closed.
Yeah, don't bother him.
They're scoring against Microsoft Excel and they're scoring against Real Madrid. As I said, we'll talk about it.
To be fair, Benrahma's done well this season.
Yeah.
Lee, bro, let them know where to find you. Great show as always. Let them know the socials.
Lee Gunner 82, Twitter, Insta, Lee Gunner on YouTube. More Lee Gunner I think Eubank Jr.'s fighting this weekend, and depending on what time that is on Saturday, because Arsenal are the late kickoff, so I'll be working for quite a bit after that. But I might do a watch along for that. So that's on the More League Gunner channel. And next weekend is Fury versus Wilder. I'm 100% doing that.
I did a watch along for AJ. It was brilliant. Such a good fight.
Yeah, I did the watch along for that, man. It was mad. And I said after round 1, when he walked back with his head down, the shoulder slump, I said, yo, he ain't having it. He ain't feeling it. Yeah. It was mad. And like, listen, Usyk, he's a quality boxer, man. Absolutely just took him apart. But yeah, so make sure you go and subscribe to that channel, More League Gunner.
Big up. Is that where you put the watch along for the fight?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing quite a few boxing ones on there. I'm going to be doing obviously vlogs and stuff still, but I want to do a load of boxing reaction videos to certain topics, like in the mainstream and stuff like that. So yeah, that'll be on there, man.
Yeah, and Corey, bro, let them know where to find you. Many trips to the ground and whatnot.
Yeah, no usuals, mate. West Ham Way on YouTube, CoreyKemp _ on Twitter. I'll obviously have a preview out for Brentford tomorrow morning, and then I'm up there on Sunday, so there'll be a post-match, and then that's it really, mate, for me. Just a bit of pre- and post-match. I really need to do something more. It's a bit too basic, but I'm literally on ram with work at the minute, so it's like I'll just get that out and then go from there and see what happens.
Yeah, listen, guys, make sure you go and subscribe. Links will be in the description. It's been a great show. And yeah, for me personally, you already know what it is. I'm going to the game tomorrow. There'll be no watch along. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to drink wine, drink, beers and cider. I'm going to, have the 3-course meal. Hopefully meet a former Chelsea player. And then, hopefully my day is not ruined by the result. I'm going to live life until they get onto the pitch. Hopefully they
You could be leaving after 44 minutes, mate.
No, that will never happen.
Look, Matisse, just get to 45, mate. And then bounce if you want.
That will never happen. Never happen. No chance. So, Toby, you won't be getting away with that. We'll be discussing that next week. In a bit, people.
I'll take her out.